The stepdaughter of a Trinidad and Tobago government minister released by kidnappers after a ransom is paid. And in sport, 2 Jamaican athletes break records and secure more gold as the Commonwealth Games continue. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, April 13th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Once the onions are softened, add minced garlic, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme. Cook, stirring constantly for 2 minutes or until the garlic is fragrant. Then turn off the heat and transfer the mushrooms to a large plate. Once the steaks are at your desired doneness, remove them from the pan and put them on the plate with the mushrooms. In the same pan, add half a cup of red wine.
This month, Caribbean Passport celebrates growth in the tourism sector, with Barbados winning the title of Best Destination in 2017. Grenada promoting Spice Mass. Trinidad and Tobago talks digital transformation, and Antigua and Barbuda heads into their sailing week. This and more coming up next on this station.
The daughter of Trinidad and Tobago's minister in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Stuart Young, has been released by kidnappers 6 hours after she was taken. Police have confirmed that 24-year-old Christina Sankar was released around 2 o'clock this morning after a ransom was paid. Reports indicate that 167,000 TT dollars was handed over, although the kidnappers had demanded $200,000. According to reports, Sankar was taken around 8 o'clock last night while she was at a friend's house in Crystal Stream, Diego Martin. 2 armed men reportedly stormed the house and left with her in a white panel van. She was released in the Mon Kuku area after the ransom was paid. Police say they have identified suspects in the crime. A landmark ruling by the High Court of Trinidad and Tobago that the country's buggery laws are unconstitutional and discriminatory has renewed hope by LGBT communities across the Caribbean that anti-sodomy laws can be defeated. Yesterday, Justice Devendra Rampasad ruled that Sections 13 and 16 of the Sexual Offences Act, which make it unlawful for men to have sex with men, even if consensual, are unconstitutional, illegal, null and void, invalid, and in contravention of the country's international human rights obligations. Although the law has not been struck down, the matter will be further ventilated in July when submissions are made to the court by attorneys for the state as well as for gay rights activist Jason Jones, who challenged the constitutionality of the criminalization of same-sex provisions in Trinidad and Tobago's laws. Morris Tomlinson, a Jamaican gay rights activist and attorney, says the law in Trinidad was open to challenge because of changes made to that country's Sexual Offences Act, and he believes changes to Jamaica's own Sexual Offences Act could result in the anti-buggery laws also being declared unconstitutional. Meantime, a gay rights advocate group in Barbados has welcomed the Trinidad and Tobago court ruling, describing it as a win for the Caribbean. The Barbados Gays, Lesbians and All Sexuals Against Discrimination, Be Glad, says the court victory signifies a necessary step in the decolonization of the independent Caribbean territories. The association's co-director, Rowan Mohammed, told local media that similar laws which criminalize consenting acts of love between adults also exist in Barbados and are relics of colonialism that have no place in the Caribbean. She said she's hopeful that the rest of the region will follow Trinidad and Tobago's lead so that people in the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersexual and asexual community can live their lives with dignity. Former Finance Minister in Guyana, Dr. Ashani Singh, is due to appear in court on May 7th after being charged with misconduct in public office. The Special Organized Crime Unit laid the charge against Singh and the former head of the privatization unit of the National Industrial and Commercial Investments Limited, Winston Brasington, following investigations into the sale of 3 plots of state land. They are accused of illegally selling the land for more than 900 million Guyana dollars. We get more in this report from Royston Drakes of Capital News.
The men were jointly charged for the sale of lands to National Hardware, Multi-Silma Inc., and Shades Business Corporation without having procured an evaluation of the property from a competent evaluation officer. The lands are located at Liliendal, Patterson, and Turkheim. Nandalal said the charges are strange, and based on his information he received, the sale was authorized by a board that governed NISIL and approved by the then PPP cabinet.
So these are bizarre and very, very strange charges, and we are entering into a dangerous arena. No government remains in power forever. And if every government is going to dedicate its energy and work towards persecuting its predecessor, then we can't move forward as a country and as a people. And none of these charges can succeed. None. And I hope that the state would be ready to pay the civil compensation suits and damages that will be awarded for the destruction of people's character and professional reputation.
Stay with us. Your midday sport is next. Frederick Dacres and Daniel Thomas Dodd took Jamaica's gold count to 6 and the overall medal tally to 22 on the 6th day of track and field competition at the Commonwealth Games on Friday. The 24-year-old Dacres posted a new record en route to winning the men's discus with a throw of 68.20 meters, while Thomas Dodd broke the national record as she captured the women's shot put with a throw of 19.63 meters. Meantime, the women's sprint hurdles former world champion Danielle Williams took silver after crossing the finish line in 12.78 seconds, and her Jamaican teammate Yannick Thompson won bronze with a run of 12.97 seconds. Oluwato Beloba Amusan of Nigeria won the gold in 12.68 seconds. West Indies stroke maker Shai Hope has described being named one of the Wisden's 5 cricketers of the year as humbling and has praised the phenomenal effort which saw the Caribbean side stun England in the second test at Leeds last August. The 24-year-old Barbadian was announced on Wednesday along with his ex-fast bowler Jamie Potter and England Women's World Cup winning trio of Heather Knight, Anya Shrabolso and Nate Shiver as the prestigious Almanac's top choices in international cricket for the last year. He said the victory meant more than his personal achievement, especially following the Caribbean side's crushing defeat in the first test at Birmingham when they went down by an innings and 209 runs inside 3 days. Hope was selected on the basis of his outstanding performance in the Leeds Test when he became the first batsman in 127 years of first-class cricket at Headingley to score a century in both innings. And that's the Caribbean in 10. Join us at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. But until then, do have yourselves a good afternoon.